Thanks for joining us. We wrap up the slasher series, Jared, with a double header. Episodes 7 and 8 dropped at the same time on Shudder. Let's get straight into this. Episode 7. I'm going to break it down into episodes.
Yep.
And then get our feelings on it. And then I'd like to finish up with the kind of final thoughts on the series.
Yep.
Alright, episode 7. Straight out of the gate. Garvey kicks off with, your boss couldn't catch a cold. Someone shut in his mouth. He's that useless. Brilliant.
Yep. I mean, it was a little along the lines of, make like a tree and fuck off.
Yeah.
But I laughed.
Yeah. And he was back to his ranting best.
Yeah, he was firing up. He was carrying on. Fantastic stuff from him. I think might have overtaken Cronenberg neck and neck with the
Krasinski.
Yeah.
No, when I'm looking at it, Cronenberg had some really funny shit, but Cronenberg's not a really good actor. He was
a relatively small.
Yeah, he's a passable actor.
Yep.
But he's a director.
Yes.
McCormack's a really good actor.
Yeah, he was excellent.
And just plus he got to rant like an asshole.
And it sort of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because I didn't watch a lot of Will and Grace, but that's what I knew him from.
Yeah.
And you get this kind of perception, and I see him in this, and it's almost like a different person.
Yes.
So he was fantastic.
Yeah, really great great performance.
Yep.
See, this is where I was still on Verdi. This is why Verdi solidified
we spoke
again.
about this, didn't we?
She got some confidence in being on Basil's arm.
Yeah.
She kind of strutted up to the sisters and basically told one of them she was a slut. What have you?
Yep.
Like, I felt like, now she's with Garvey.
Yep.
She's sort of, wheeling into this.
Yeah. They played you like a fiddle, didn't they?
Oh, fucking hell. Did they what? And we haven't yet to give it away, but fuck, I was fiddled.
Mind you, I was played also, but I was playing
You didn't
different
even know
notes.
what the fucking there was a musical instrument involved, and that's how badly you were going.
Look, I was playing. I don't know. I was playing something. I was playing a different instrument.
It was a recorder.
The funny thing is, I listened back to our last episode, and we fucking circled around everything. Just basically was sitting right in front of us, and we were sitting there going, no, couldn't be that. It just couldn't. So, we were both played there, but I also enjoyed that scene. I thoroughly enjoyed the Botticelli scuffling in the street.
I thought that shit was just funny.
Both of them
They're really
throwing
crap at each other the whole time.
Yeah, both of them were so over the top, like very, very fucking over dramatic, that it was just enjoyment, entertainment plus. And I've said in a couple of the previous seasons, season 3 especially, that Paula Brancati, I believe it is, kind of got a couple of characters that I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, season 3.
You've been really stuck with something here that just doesn't work.
And actually, if you watch Guilty Party again, she gets saddled with that sort of difficult character again.
Yeah, but this season she's been awesome.
Yeah.
Both of the two Botticelli sisters that are, targeting Verdi have been excellent.
Yes, and again, I think she's a pretty good actress.
She is,
and
no
I think, but she takes on the roles that are a bit more difficult, would seem, in this series, because you kind of see a bit of a through line with the actors that they brought back.
Yeah.
They're playing very similar roles.
Yeah,
very similar to
to
the guy playing Crenshaw. He has a tendency to play similar roles in the other series.
And, Pastor Gas was son of Pastor Gas in the first series. So.
There was also, this is why the fiddle was getting played with Verdi, because at one point after she's had a verbal altercation with her sister, she looks at the camera and goes, and it was something Roy would have been proud of.
Bit of blue steel.
Roy would have been proud of that.
Yeah, yep.
And I was like, it's definitely her.
I can't believe you didn't jump off when you had the chance.
I said to my wife, and she's definitely did it. And my wife's like, what gives you that idea? And I was like, did you just see what she did there? Definitely.
Yep.
All right.
You were played like a fiddle. I mean, you were played like a fiddle in fucking Devil Went Down to Georgia or something. It was absolutely going off.
Yeah, they were really going off. And she does sabotage the box.
Yeah.
Too.
Yep.
So again, I still felt like I was in the ballpark.
Well, you know what? When she did that was the moment I was like, it's definitely not it.
Obviously, our minds are on different wavelengths.
Well, she did that, and I was like, okay, well, they're not going to then go and have her. I mean, they're not going to reveal it in episode 7, 15 minutes in. Like, there's still going to be something to come. So, when she did that, it was kind of confirmed for me that I think the last episode sort of started it, and then that sort of confirmed that, I was off that.
Yeah. Fair enough. Rondo is front and centre of the episode. I was immediately on the Rondo's cactus bandwagon.
Yes. Yep.
And bingo.
Yep.
100% correct.
I mean, we started off the episode and I thought to myself, this does not bode well for the fact that I've been tossing out that he's
the Black Magic.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, but there was some stuff that did crop up there for us in the early minutes. I thought, hang on, I think Jared could be right here. I know.
So that was a couple of the lower strings while the upper strings were getting fucking strung around as well.
Because his assistant returned.
Yes.
And I was kind of like, hang on a second, we haven't seen her for a while.
Yeah,
She's suddenly back, we're rolling into the end of it.
Yeah.
He's having weird nightmares and hallucinations and stuff.
Yep.
Now we could be going the right way. Next thing you know, he's dead.
And I'm sitting there going, you cheated. You cheated.
He's clearly not dead.
We're cheating here.
Fucking
I mean, he's figured out how to fucking concoct a fake head. Pulled one of his magic tricks and removed his own head.
I've got to say this, though. And even when we get to the reveal, I cannot cop it. But it seems the widow's very adept at parkour. She works her way through the streets, the cobblestone streets, without falling over.
She was an early proponent of parkour. Yeah,
Craze.
Leaping all over the place.
Oh, yeah, that stuff. And then we finally get to the actual conclusion, I was kind of like, but that doesn't fucking jive either.
Well,
like,
you
none of that
can't
jive.
do that shit in... I mean, I thought she was wearing heels at one point. You can't be leaping off walls.
I mean, the shoes back in those days had no sort of...
There's no support.
did they?
No tread. You're slipping off. You're not gaining traction on the wall.
You're not gaining any traction at all.
Yeah.
Plus, you're wearing a fucking... Underneath that, big sort of gown that she's wearing...
Yeah.
You are wearing... a massive dress that's cinched at the waist. Or if it's a bloke, you're wearing a fucking, a bloody a vest, pocket watch.
Shit is not fit for purpose.
No. You're not wearing a pair of skinnies.
No. I mean, that dress isn't made by Under Armour or anything.
Exactly. Unless they were punching something out back in the fucking 1800s.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed, you've mentioned Verdi kind of setting the trap. I quite enjoyed how that went down. Although from the second that she suggested her sister be the one in the trick, you were like, I see where this is going. It was telegraphed, but I liked the way that it kind of circled back to the start of the season, and we're back to Rondo. I mean, Rondo was talking about overly dramatic.
Yeah.
But on the stage, it was kind of, he's supposed to be, that's part of his role or whatever. So I kind of like that we came back to that. And
agreed.
She was pretty nasty. It looked like fucking Yorgie's butchery by the time when they opened it.
Well, Yorgie's about to go, hang on. I'll take that.
Yeah. Does anyone want some burgers?
We called the coroner. No, don't worry about the coroner. Fucking just give it here.
I've got it.
It's Rich to blame Veriana as the widow.
Oh, very rich.
Because there's no evidence whatsoever, but I guess it plays into the outcome.
But can I talk about logistics again?
Logistics?
She was in the audience when they chased the widow out. Yeah. So Rikers must have known it wasn't her.
Yeah. But again,
he's the worst detective of all time.
Yeah, I know, but I think it all plays into
He's like you. He's jumping on another person every episode.
Surely you jest, because I have had many... I have cracked many cases, Jared. I'm not going to
just
talk
not
about
this one. You have destroyed a number of lives.
This one
trying to
was
crack
a
this
tough case, Jared. It was a tough case.
It was a tough case.
It was a tough case. Look. I think at them stitching her up, it all sort of ties back into the end, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So essentially, while watching episode 7, having not seen episode 8, I was going, it was rich. I mean, there was nothing there. There's no evidence.
Yep. When she's getting spoken to, I shouldn't be laughing at this, but when she's getting spoken to, I fucking burst out laughing when they mentioned you beat the hell. She goes, Well, you have to beat the help once in a while. I was just like, do you? I didn't know that was a rule, but...
I know if I get a cleaner, I'm going to kick her up the ass. Just to let her know who's boss.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Quite ridiculous, really.
I think really I should have known what was going on when Simcoe put the word on the detective.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't tweak.
Can I say I'm not surprised?
But you know what? Kosinitsky would never have been blindsided by such time.
He'd have started to get on the case and then he'd have gone, oh, have you serving pies for dinner?
No, she'd have said, so what do you think, detective? And touched his hand and he would have gone... Got a fucking...
Grab a needle out. Let's party. Getting to my dislikes, I mean, you kind of touched on one about labelling Viviana the widow. Doesn't quite really stack up. Also, Shanika, the assistant, when all's said and done, she was just there to lead us off the scent and wasn't really anything more.
No.
This is where I call foul.
Yeah, I do.
You cheated. I'm not going to say that was... I'm overly upset with that. But the best of these sort of things don't contain...
Doesn't need that.
Well, they don't contain herrings that just do really nothing. They contain people that are kind of woven into the story. Yeah, and this was a case of just
because she had no.
You fucking stitched me up. I was talking about Rondo and people who hadn't been there, but at the end of it, she had no role in the show.
She had no connection to the incident that occurred. None.
Nothing.
So why would she have done it? I guess the only connection, if she had have done it, it would have had to be something similar with what they ended up going with.
Yeah.
Part of what they went with.
Yep.
Which did not hold water.
No.
For me, even though we checked into some ages and found that, yes, like, from the perspective of the actual person...
I mean, we're going to get to that, but that makes me look like more of an idiot,
I know,
I prefer
but
not to, but...
And I'm not... Oh, shit, hang on. Let me fucking get it.
That's next episode. Let's save that.
Save that.
Hold on.
All right, okay. So...
Leave the pies in the oven for another 5 minutes.
What other... Have you got any other dislikes? Anything else?
No, that was it for this episode.
Okay. I still had a suspects page at this point because we hadn't seen episode 8.
Let me guess.
And
everyone was on it?
No, I said Simcoe.
Yeah.
She had gone straight to the top of the list because her behaviour with the detective, I was like, this is totally against who she was.
Yes.
This is totally off the track.
It was a few, I would say it was in the last 10 to 15 minutes.
It was too heavy-handed almost a little bit.
Last 10 to 15 minutes of the episode, but they were building up to it, essentially, so... We can't really claim.
I was sort of giving the game away.
Can't really claim any credit for picking it at the end of episode 7.
Bullshit, got it.
Gotcha. I mean, I've put 15 other people in jail. I've strung up 3 of them. I can't take that back, but I gotcha.
Okay. Did you have anything?
In terms of suspects?
Yeah. Were you still on your usual... Were you fucking riding your nag still?
No. Well, obviously I was on the same... I mean, I was of the pick and stick. I couldn't leap around for the first 6 episodes until my horse got fucking beheaded or roasted or whatever happened to her in the end. Legs fell off.
Oh, man, that whole thing was ugly.
At that point, I really felt like the Rondo... The thing about Rondo and the possession was going to come back. Because they just, they snuck it in there and I just felt you can't have this in there if it's nothing. So I thought we were going to circle back to that Rondo and the Black Magic was... And I'd brushed Simcoe. Like, I'd thought about that. Initially, I'd thought about that because, she was the one that responded to the possession, all this sort of shit, and But then I just thought, you can't have the widow be the widow. I was like, that's along the lines of Pass the Gas with the clear motive. But, they stitched me up.
But this is the thing.
Classic stitch up.
I had brushed Simcoe because I just didn't feel she didn't...
Yeah, it didn't fit.
She had anything to do. She wasn't doing anything. Yeah. So I was just kind of like, she's wandering around with fucking Pass the Gas.
But as I said to you, they were having conversations that if I look back on it, probably unveil the whole thing. But every time they started speaking to each other, I was drifted off. Because those two were the worst culprits of this we've got to have their dialogue be in the tone of the era, so they're starting fucking sentences with thee and fucking all this.
I know.
And I was just kind of like, fucking hell. Give me some Kashtinsky and the Demon Cock Hero, do you know what I mean?
Or Garvey calling everyone a fucking fat sack of shit.
So they played me like a fiddle in that regard, because I was because they, you know, I mean, they were talking about grief. That everything they were talking about, every time you heard it, you were like, there's something here. They're talking about the grief. They're talking about this. They're talking about. But I would just kind of sit there and go, let's get back to the stuff that's making me laugh and stuff like that. So that's on me, really.
Agree.
Poor detective work. I mean, I'm falling asleep during the stakeout.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Not during stakeout. Okay. Into episode 8.
Yep. Kick off with my first like.
Yeah.
You're a vile, evil, self-centered little cunt.
Yeah, that was...
Okay. Anything else to add to that list?
Yeah, I think you've got them all. I don't think there's much else you can really hit me
It's fairly
with.
broad, but it covers everything about my personality, really. So
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was pretty harsh.
we're painting in broad strokes, but we've covered the canvas, so
Okay. Rondo's head is a wedding present?
outstanding.
Yeah, that's just what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather you just gave me some money for the fucking wishing well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, did you not read the card? We didn't want gifts. We wanted cash. Don't be one of those people.
Yeah, I wanted shekels.
I mean, you know, just a you know, quick tangent. I know some people get upset about the wishing well and say, no, I'd rather give you a present. Me, I'm like, less effort. I can just slip a 50 in a card and I'm done. Like,
I know. I've never been so happy at a wedding.
don't give me the presents.
If I can put $50 in a card and throw it in the wishing well, there's a fucking fully paid bar.
Yeah, exactly.
You got me in.
Can we also, you know, on the same token, organising a wedding at a day's notice because you're keen to get one away.
Yeah. I've seen some efforts. This is one you've really put some thought into.
Yeah, let's halt everything and put all our resources into a wedding at a day's notice.
You know what? Having a boner is not a reason to just pull a wedding together. Garvey, let's settle for a minute.
Yeah.
Give it a week.
Yeah,
Maybe you can pull yourself off in the shower for a
We're
week.
taking a dinner once or twice before we
Get to know her. Realise she's fucking shallow ass.
No, this is like an episode of, you know, Naked in Love or whatever it is. Or Love in the Dark or whatever we're going, we've never had a connection like this with anyone.
Yeah, you've
And then we
known
turn
them
the
for
lights
2
on.
minutes.
Yeah.
Then, oh, no. Oh, the connection went sort of
Yeah.
soft.
Never had a connection with anyone. Click. Oh.
Including you.
Was it? Yeah, that's pretty much where we're going with this,
Well,
aren't we?
yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about something like Love is Blind, where they've known someone for fucking 5 days, and, and these blokes are there going, I have never had such a deep connection. And I'm sitting there going, so you've never fucking spoken to anyone?
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me? You've never spoken to
usually
anyone?
it's dark, there's lots of music on, and you're doing big fish, little fish, small fish, fox. And then
you got to fucking
trying to
whistle
go
in
to
your
work.
mouth. Yeah, okay.
You're trying to communicate
the
via
deepest
glow
connection
stick.
you've had is in a fucking nightclub toilet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, okay. So, I'm going to say...
Spoiling.
No, we're about to spoil in a second, but there's one in between where Garvey slaps the Christ out of his maid and then just starts fucking going off like an absolute loon.
Does he what? Yes.
And then proceeds to simperingly apologise for his actions after he's done it. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
That's a tough one to walk back.
I
mean, you can
smack
say
the shit out of it.
You can say sorry, but you've grabbed the woman and
beat her
fucking smacked her multiple times across the face.
He was bleeding, motherfucker.
What did the 5 fingers say to the face? I mean, fucking hell, he's absolutely walloped her a couple of times and then just kind of, sorry. Sorry. Like, no. You can't walk that one back.
Again, this is why I think the performance is so good. Even when he's apologising, there's a simmering rage under there, like he's about to go off again about it.
Yep.
Okay, now we're getting into spoiler territory.
Yes.
Okay? Simcoe basically tells them that she's the widow.
Yep.
And we did some research, didn't we, Jared?
We did.
Because, and this, I'm not having a shot at the actress, but I thought she was a lot older.
Yeah,
and
so
I
did
actually thought the character was meant to be in her 30s or late 30s.
Oh, yeah.
So when they said she was the daughter of Margaret, I was like, what?
Yeah, I sort of said, excuse me?
Yeah. How old was she when she was young? Like 20?
Yeah.
She was a very strange looking 20.
Yeah, I thought the same. I thought exactly the same.
That's why Verdi was in the frame, because she was in the age bracket.
Especially given Simcoe was older. And I know they kind of play this. They kind of show it to you with Garvey and Verdi, where there's obviously a big age difference. And Simcoe was... You know, they put it right in front of us. Simcoe's
and I think maybe they
made
made the actress look older by dressing her a certain way.
Yeah.
They played up to the fact that you wouldn't be looking at that.
But I was like, I said 30... I was thinking 35 to 40.
Yeah. The actress is 26.
26?
So we're way off.
Yeah,
Which perfectly fits. If you took that actress's age, actual age,
yes,
it fits in with what they were going
It does. It fits exactly.
Or close enough. 24, 25.
And the, the ages that we're presuming that Margaret was, and, there's a couple of things to come back to, but yeah, I was fucking... When they said that, initially I was like, what?
I was like, nah.
As soon as she said it, I was like, no. And then I went to IMDb and I kind of went, oh, shit. Yeah. Okay, so...
And I think they deliberately made her look a certain way because they were trying to make her look older.
Yep.
So again...
Caught me in that trap as well.
Oh, mate, I stepped in every fucking bear trap there was.
Twice.
I've got no feet.
You were like Sideshow Bob with the rakes, mate. You're fucking just
yeah, I was running into them left and right.
I definitely stepped on more than a few as well.
I actually found the episode to be pretty sluggish. I actually felt like it was the worst paced one of the lot.
Yeah,
because I think we're coming to the reveal.
Yep.
But I just felt like it kind of got a little bit boring. Once she told everyone she was the daughter, they kind of meander around for a while. Yeah,
and I do have a few problems with that. The way that it all has played out, but I do like that it kind of placed the detective in a sort of crisis of his fucking faith in the justice system and the fact that he's fucking dedicated his life to it and that sort of thing. But I feel like some of the previous stuff had put him on the sideline a little.
Yeah.
So, and I think that contributed to this. We come back to him and we come back to his kind of, what he's trying to achieve and what he's kind of stands for, and it all gets kind of blown up in his face.
Yeah.
But I did like that I like that they tried something different and went for the fact that he knows earlier. She tells him, basically. He kind of, lays it on the table and she doesn't apologise for it. He doesn't arrest her.
Yeah.
I did like that. He understands that Garvey won't suffer the force of the law, that the justice won't be given to him because he's fucking paid everyone off. He's basically, he's done this before. He understands that this will be this, whatever he tries to hold Garvey accountable for, this shit's already been done. He's already fucking... His status has allowed him to do it.
Yes.
And it's going to happen again when his force turns on him and that sort of thing.
But this is the thing, Jared. Could he have just not allowed the group to do the job?
Well...
If that's the reasoning for his turn.
But I like the fact that he joined in on it.
Yeah,
he realised that, because essentially at the end of the day, everyone in the episode that goes and participates in the killing of Garvey is a good person who has been fucking wronged by him.
And let's look at that group.
Yep.
Pass the gas.
Pass the gas.
Verdi.
Yep.
Simcoe.
Mm-hmm.
The older maid.
Maid? I don't know why. She
only joined in after she had the shit smacked out of her.
She got a wild card entry.
I said, do you want to get involved in this?
Yes.
Oh, shit,
Oh, yes.
And I think that they certainly killed him.
Yeah.
Like, it was nasty.
I mean, I would have thought if you're going to get slapped for anything, it's for serving up fucking human flesh.
I don't remember. Yeah, she wasn't slapped during that. I mean, she was madhead.
She was chastised.
And chastised, but she was not slapped.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know, if I find a fucking tongue in my burger...
There might have been a written warning
Yes.
at some point.
I find a tongue in my burger, I slap the Christ out of somebody. I do.
Yeah.
I offload.
Probably Kaczynski. Stop eating it. Fucking, you're making me sick.
And he goes, it tastes like chicken or whatever. You know, he's like, go on. But you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
So,
A bit of gravy on it, you can't fucking tell.
So, for me, I felt like that stuff was good. The revelation that Garvey killed Margaret, it's a bit throwaway. Like
Yeah.
I understand that but all that led to all this.
Yeah.
Yet it seemed to be just kind of like this. Yeah, okay, so he killed her.
But I was enjoying more in the previous couple of episodes when they threw out stuff like, okay, it wasn't as brutal as they mentioned. It was that Dr. Israel had this interest in fucking carving up human bodies for scientific purposes and entree service. But when they threw that out there, I was like, fuck, okay. I mean, I know I'm a fucking idiot, but I presumed that when they showed Rondo, I was like, oh, so he killed her.
Yeah.
Because they showed him choking and then fucking letting
it
her
off.
breath back and then doing it again. And I was like, okay, so he's performed some fucking ritual and he was the one that did the deed.
Yeah.
Which I was like,
Fair
cool,
enough.
fuck, I didn't see that at all. So,
It's kind of like they then retconned that.
well, I obviously missed something. But yeah, when it came back that it was just, it was Garvey, I more preferred that it was Garvey overseeing the thing for some fucking slight.
Yes.
That
Something
it
that
was
she
a
had
petty
done
slight.
when she tried to kind of manipulate him in the early episodes. I mean,
but that
seemed
he
like the right
kind of,
thing.
his influence causes all these other people that are involved to
do-
fucking do things that were perhaps outside what
they
they
wouldn't normally
might
do,
normally
yeah.
do because they're, we want to keep a place in high society, or you know, if I stay on the good side of Garvey, I'm going to sell fucking massive amounts of tickets to my shows and shit like that. I preferred that, to be honest. So, yeah.
Agreed. So look, I was pretty happy with the final twist. Like, I was fairly happy.
Yeah. I liked that it was everyone joining in on it. As we said, these were the people that had been wronged.
And again, he got his comeuppance.
Yeah.
Exactly what the anticipated outcome of the entire series was going to be, that he was going to get his comeuppance.
Yeah. And it's kind of, you know, it's sort of obvious in a way, but I never expected it to be all the people that you've stepped on to fucking just go and allow this to happen.
Yeah.
Especially the way that they'd played Rikers through the series.
In a way, like, when they all came out, I was kind of like, okay, well, I anticipated. Like, thinking about it, yes, these four definitely would be involved. But Riker's turn, obviously he turned late.
But even past the gas. I thought he was a forgiving kind of book.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, you're right, yeah.
But Riker's was a late turn.
Yeah. And was
I
played
like
as
that.
this very logical, I approach this step by step, I allow the law to deal with
Everything that happened.
everything. So yeah,
Whereas
didn't see the turn.
Kaczynski's methods would have probably been better served here.
Yeah, I would have expected him to be fucking slumped over the seat of the church going, yeah, fucking go ahead with it.
Exactly. And that was I guess they did a pretty good job over 8 episodes doing that counterpoint. So Rikers is trying to do everything by the book and do it right and make sure it works, but Kaczynski or whatever and that, they're doing shit on the dodge.
Yeah.
And yet their methods would have been more useful
Yes.
in this particular event.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So I thought that stuff was interesting. Did you have anything else?
Did I have anything else? I've got a few issues with, in terms of the good stuff about the episode. I did like that she just kind of flipped on this, kind of like I was faking the whole possession stuff.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Yeah.
And begrudgingly, because I was fucking fooled with that one too.
Of course, you were walking around blindly.
I was walking around blindly. I was currently on a donkey, as you said. I was fucking riding the donkey, thinking I was going to hit the finish line hard.
You were going to the whip. You were definitely going to the whip.
Yeah, but yeah, getting to the stuff I didn't like. This one, again, minor, but it kind of made me laugh a little bit. The gift arrives on Garvey's desk. Have we not fucking learned from pies and heads on platters? I mean, fucking give us a spell. You're not accepting any gifts. They're not getting rolled out into your fucking...
No. You are on high alert to something going on.
Yeah. Open that shit before I see it.
Yes, yes.
Because I will not be party to another fucking pie, any of these things. I don't want any of it.
I guess what I liked about that, the final reveal, is Garvey was open and susceptible to some of those people.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He always had... The maid was always there to kind of do whatever and concoct whatever.
If we've learned anything from the show, it's if you beat the help a little bit, you get good performances, apparently.
Allegedly. They move from the kitchen to the fucking dining room
A little beating occasionally inspires a bit of loyalty.
This is the other thing. It now makes more sense that some of the things could have been done.
Yeah.
Because there was numerous people involved.
Yes.
Again, how are you getting the fucking...
I mean, I saw the
metal object.
I saw the box and I said, that looks about the shape of a fucking head.
Yeah, don't open that. You're right. Don't open anything.
Don't open it. I'm not taking gifts. I'm fucking locking up. If it's a cash envelope, I'll have a look. But
yeah, it was envelopes.
But read the card first in case it's a warning. Like, there's steps here.
If it says cancel the dance or it'll happen thrice, I am not opening it.
Yes, exactly. Cancel the wedding. Okay, so circling back to her being the daughter.
Yeah.
As I said, I accepted the fact after I looked at IMDb and saw the age of the actresses. I was like, oh shit, well I fucked that one up. That's on me. But I also have a few queries around why this wasn't mentioned earlier. We've spoken a lot about the night, photos, all of this shit, and nobody, not one person in that group mentions she had that fucking annoying child. Yeah, and I find it really difficult to believe that Pastor Gass, what I presume is, takes it to the orphanage or whatever it is. His dad had a part in it.
Yeah.
This is 12 years later, okay?
Yeah.
I'm led to believe that Simcoe and her were married for, I got the sense, a few years at least.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't know about the soapstone dildos, but she'd been around for a while.
Yeah.
So there's a window of time where... And she looked pretty old in those flashbacks.
Yes.
She looked like
She
10,
was about
11, 12. So you're telling me that nobody, the Botticellis, nobody kind of said...
Nobody opened their mouth?
Hang on a minute. That girl that Simcoe's marrying looks a little bit like...
But also, are you saying that nobody, when this is what the show's sort of, again, and in a way, I would consider this not a cheat, but it's them omitting information.
Yeah.
So you won't know what's going on.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So not one person, when you realise the widow is after all of us, and that photo and that night is the most important part of this.
Yep.
That not one of you says... The woman that died had a child. What the fuck happened to her?
Yes, exactly.
Where is she?
That's the part that really kind of, at the end of it all...
Because my mind's racing. I'm thinking she had a daughter. The daughter would now be in her 20s.
Yep.
She
actually looked a little bit like Mrs. Simcoe.
They look similar.
No.
Do not answer the door to the Simcoe people. We're not having them round for brunch.
Yes.
So the idea that nobody would mention it...
Yeah.
When you're being stalked by someone that is supposedly a woman?
Yep. It was a lot to take.
It does. It's a lot to omit to avoid giving it away.
Yeah.
Whereas a bait and switch would have been better.
Yeah.
Is that Simcoe didn't do it, but the other three did.
Verdi did it.
The other three.
No, yeah.
Because they did it because they knew the history. And they were just like...
Well, I could have copped that,
just like Rikers, they wanted justice, and there was only one way of getting it.
Yep. Yeah.
But then there would be no reason to wait 12 years.
True. And it just kind of... Yeah, it just rubbed me the wrong way, just a touch.
Didn't quite work for me.
Because I feel like, in terms of the endings that we've seen on the slasher seasons, this is still one of the better ones.
Yes.
Overall. And I want to, make sure I give the credit where it's due.
Yeah.
But this is where you get into with some of the... It's a family member and all this sort of stuff that we've seen so many times.
Yes.
That it just... And this one especially, because she was so prominent in this... I mean, he's tossing around the photo to people like Dr. Israel who had come around by the end of it to, I'll talk.
Yes.
But it takes Garvey to say there were more fucking negatives and this and that. Oh, yeah, well, I'll find them. Then there's a girl in the photo. Like, Dr. Israel couldn't have said Margaret had a daughter. Like,
yeah.
That was a bit hard to cop.
Yeah, great.
Yep.
Is that all you thought? That's the end of your thoughts?
No.
Here we go. Another one.
Riker starts tossing out, "You're my prime suspect," to pass the gas. How many times has he gone to someone with this kind of...
Fucking every episode?
Every episode. We're led to believe this guy was really good at what he did. But he fucking...
Yeah, he seems to know nothing.
He's on everybody.
Is that... Yeah, exactly. I mean, I understand you're supposed to have an open mind.
Yeah.
But you don't accuse everyone of murder.
Yes.
Like, you go down a few rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And the thing about Pastor Gas was they had played him as being extremely righteous and not... And he was such a sort of a minor player that you didn't sort of see him as being one of these... The only time you see him change tack slightly is when he punches that bloke in episode 6.
Yeah.
So, ultimately, why is he... why is he in the crosshairs?
Well, I understand him being there, and I understand that there were certain conversations between him and the Simcoe widow.
Yeah.
That
you nodded off in.
That I nodded off in. But there was, the portions that I was awake for, they were adding something to they were trying to go a little bit deeper into what this was all about, what fucking they'd done to Margaret, all this sort of stuff. And, they were talking about it from the sense that he'd seen it with his father, who was unjustly killed.
Yeah.
And looking back at it, well, okay, they're both talking about it from experience.
Yeah, okay.
So as I said, they fucking laid it out on the table, and I just chose to not look
at it.
Yeah. But again, pass the gas. This was my last little thing that I didn't like.
Yeah.
I mean, he just passes gas when he throws out, "It's somebody I care about deeply," and walks away. When it's kind of like he's trying to cover up who it is. It's someone I care about deeply, and then walks away, and it's like, you've only spent any time in the whole fucking series with one person. So you think he's not going to pick up on that? I mean, I know he's pointed the finger at everybody in town, but you've just given it away there.
Exactly.
I thought we could have found another way for him to kind of, like...
Yeah, get involved.
Yeah. I thought the wrist. The wrist was a good way to show us that they're falling asleep in each other's arms, and then we see a bruise on her wrist.
Yeah.
I thought, that's really cool. But I thought maybe he could have... I mean, he spent the night in the sack with her and he didn't notice. Worst detective.
As I said, Kaczynski doesn't get fucking railroaded by that.
Kaczynski doesn't get enough credit. Bring him back.
He wanted to jump in the sack with Margaret. What am I saying? All these guys, they're all thinking with their cocks and not thinking with their bloody braids.
Yeah.
All right, final thoughts. I thought it was a pretty good season all round. Plenty of gore, plenty of violence, a little bit of humour thrown in.
Yep.
It was reasonably well plotted. There was only a couple of episodes where I felt a little bit of drag, a bit of lag.
Yep.
But other than that, I thought it was pretty well done.
Yeah.
Overall.
I'm going out fucking
right out
on
there.
my nag again, out to the front of the race. Look,
best season?
I think it's the best season. All in all, I really enjoyed last season.
Yeah.
But I think this one was probably a more engaging story from start to finish.
Yeah, I agree.
I love that they took the tack last season of throwing in a little bit of Saw. Like this is a game every week and stuff like that. But I think I loved taking it to a different time period.
Yes.
As you've already pointed out, some really good acting performances. The likes of Kaczynski and Garvey making us laugh, a little bit of kind of humour mixed in there as well.
Yeah, I felt
similar to Cronenberg last season. I think all across the board, this was probably the season that I've enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
And that's saying something because I have enjoyed
pretty
much all of them. Like even season 3 where there was
Well, they've all had
there
their
was
moments.
big problems in season 3, but as we've spoken about before, we just don't get slasher TV shows.
Yes.
So to have this one to keep coming back to and have what I felt was a pretty good quality effort for the last couple of seasons especially.
Well, put it
Really
this way.
enjoyed it.
Put it this way too. Something like Scream, the TV series, lasted 2 to 3 seasons, and was pretty shit house across the board.
Yep.
This one has maintained a reasonable quality across 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think part of it is like the anthology type aspect to it, that it's different every season. We can come up with something completely different every season, but our through line is we keep the same actors.
Yes.
I love that idea.
Yes, I would love to. Now, as I said, I thought I'd heard that it had been cancelled, but I don't know that.
No, I think there's still. Last I read, there's still. It hasn't been renewed, but I guess it's up to Shudder whether they decide to go for another one. Or
but I'd love to see.
do.
I would love to see, even though Guilty Party went down some of this route, I'd love to see an 80s set camp, totally set in a camp slasher, just with that the mystery involved.
Yep.
Because I think that would actually work out really, really well. I think it would give you that nostalgic Friday the 13th type of thing. But set it in the 80s so you can, you don't have to have mobiles and you don't have to have all that sort of crap that ruins it now.
Well,
people, and that's why I like Ripper here. There was none of that stuff.
Yeah, and I'm more than open to them exploring other time periods like they did in this one. I thought that was an excellent idea, especially the way they tossed out Simcoe in the first episode like a Jack the Ripper kind of thing and then killed him first.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to see them try their hand at that because I think they've shown a pretty good understanding of
what's
like
required, yes.
But yeah, there's also, that brings a few problems around that we've seen it done so many times that it's really hard to bring something fresh to the mix. But I'm open to that. I'm open to really whatever they decide to throw at us because I think mostly they've done a pretty good job.
I think they've done an excellent job.
I think, as you said, that exploring the different time periods might be the way to go because they did it really successfully this time. So.
Yeah, agreed. All right, that's Slasher Ripper. Keep an eye on the Facebook page for what we're doing next, which I believe is Masters of the Universe. People, I've put that out there.
You tossed it out there.
This episode will go out before that, but
pre-recorded.
Masters of the Universe is there.
We've been on that one.
We have. And Dolph has recently been sick.
Yes. Sad to hear.
Sad to hear, but the bloke's a weapon.
Can we just toss out that we didn't know about that while we were talking about the
No, we did
episode?
We were not aware of that.
No.
And, I think we caveated by saying Dolph was learning the craft during Masters of the Universe.
Although I think we were more than fair. I don't think we held him to...
No, we didn't hold him to full account.
For all the problems that were part of that movie, but
Anyway. So look forward to that episode. But until then, take it easy, everyone, and we'll catch everyone later. Cheers. Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.